I'm gonna bring someone in to confirm this. Yo, how's it going?
Good, good. I'm programming some battle code stuff.
All right, I'm sending you this in the DMs. Look at this. Tell me what you think it means.
Okay, so we have some sort of score. I guess like two teams, two different scores. The 0-0. Below that, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at. At
Okay.
623, Q like a quarter of a game or something.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
And then FG 5-2.
Let's just focus on that sort of stoplight thing. What do you think that's trying to tell you?
Is this
Like,
for like penalties or something? Like FG 5 and 2? I'm thinking, is this like score values? But I'm pretty sure there's not stuff in football that gives you 5 points. So I'm like,
what if I told you that this was green means go for it if you're 2 yards away. Five means coin flip, like yellow being coin flip, red
hmm.
being don't kick a field goal.
I mean, that's cool, but like they expect people to pick up on this without being explained what it
What?
means.
What? What? That's okay. Someone in my chat saying that's not even right. All right. Secondly, what if I told you that when the person who created this, when that person was told like, hey, this doesn't convey what you think it's trying to say, their reply was, figure it the fuck out.
It's always the user's fault. That's what I always say. If someone doesn't understand a mechanic in my game, fuck them. They're idiots.
Okay, that's all. That's all. This is good. Thank you for a real world third party example.
No problem.
All right, have a good stream, dude.
Peace.
That is Evan. Evan MMO. Here is Brian Burke. After like a kind of tongue in cheek tweet, stop the car if the field goal is kicked. Brian Burke responded with, figure it the fuck out. My army daughter introduced me to that last week. Seems like something you'd benefit from. Like, what? It is the kids who are the problem. People have been telling you this is an awful graphic for months now. Clearly, the solution is to attack anyone who points out the obvious. And here's the reply. Here's the reply. Figure it the fuck out. It's amazing, elegant, and understandable with the slightest effort. How elegant and amazing and understandable is this? When I see traffic light, I always think elegant. I'm as open as anyone, right? I've put out my own fair share of dog shit data visualization. If you have been watching me struggle through advent of code, you're gonna get to see like nested ifs that look like this. And this still didn't work. If someone said, hey, you should make that better, I don't think my response would be, figure it the f out. And I think what's really important here is that you can falsify a data visualization. And that's really simple. You don't need a ton of research or scientific knowledge to do that. All you have to say is, this doesn't make any sense. If you're coming from a data science or a science background, you're going to see revisions for this. Your advisor, your boss, your manager will probably say, this doesn't really sell me on the idea. And if it doesn't sell your advisor, who's really looking at it with like rose-colored glasses, it's really not going to fly with, say, your committee or say a reviewer. Because at the end of the day, what's the most important thing, right? The ability to present your models in the most effective way, right? When we talked about TikTok and how their algorithm works, well, it's not different than any other recommendation system. The only thing that's different is that the design is what makes it so powerful. The ability to actually sift through information quickly and efficiently is married to the recommendation system. The recommendation system is attached to the design as much as the design is a part of the recommendation system. It isn't several steps away trying to analyze behavior, analyze insights from some sort of secondary or tertiary point. It truly is one and the same, right? Your communication pipeline here from model to consumer back to model is its own feedback loop. It's the communication aspect that allows things like this to both like flourish and also fail. If we look at some of the data visualization that Brian Burke has put out, something like this is so much more easily consumed. Yards to the end zone, 0 being a touchdown, go for it in red, punt in dark gray, field goal in blue. This changes depending on the game, of the situation. You can see that in several of these, you have differences in terms of what the plot looks like. So this one has a higher go range here. This one has more go over here. This is probably because in terms of the quarter and time and being up versus tied. So you have like per situation dynamic changes in the graph, but it doesn't shake the core of what this is trying to tell you, which is ultimately, should you go for it or not? Then we look at this, which is essentially trying to say the same thing, right? We're trying to put this in the context of the game, and we're trying to actually say, like, hey, you don't need to be able to read an XY, mostly area plot, but somewhat of a scatter plot graph, right? All you need are these 3 things. Here are your 3 thoughts. Red light, green light. Once you start kind of throwing it in this format, then you're kind of leaving it up to obscurity, right? Like, there are no units. I thought red was, you shouldn't do it. What the fuck does yellow mean? All of these things kind of don't really make sense. And then also the presentation of it is not good, just in general. Okay, I get this as a stoplight, but why is this 1/4 of the entire fucking real estate here? Like, I know Tufty said, like, this visualization doesn't say to me whether to go for it or whether it's a coin flip. This data visualization doesn't say to me whether or not someone should spend more time working on this or not. This data visualization says to me that there is no oversight in the ESPN analytics department when it comes to putting stuff out there for the public consumption through people who are extremely popular in the sports analytics eye. And it is, in my opinion, you do more damage in the analytics community when you're able to put out these things at scale. When you already have people yelling at you that analytics shouldn't be a part of the game. Didn't Bomani Jones maybe a year or 2 ago say something to the effect of, if our analytics that we're producing for sports are hard to understand, then it's not really an us problem as consumers of it. It's a your problem because you're the analytics people and you need to fucking actually figure it the fuck out, the communication side of it, right? It is us who needs to do it. It's upon us to communicate better.
I don't know any baseball players.
Name one
Jason
baseball player.
Jason Baseball?
Jason Baseball. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a Jason. Jason sounds familiar.